Hey everybody, welcome into the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. It is Snap Judgments. We are back to talk about Ohio State and Notre Dame with game week practices underway in this building. That's Bill Landis, Jeremy Birmingham. I'm Austin Ward. And you know it's getting real. I think Marvin Harrison, if you can see it back here, practice has not started yet. He's obsessed with this jugs machine, with fancy jugs machine.
It's a robot. It's a robot.
A passing robot that we saw him use over the summer and make that sensational catch. Out getting that extra work. You can just tell that this building feels a little different this week.
You know, I got to tell you guys, this is off topic, but the Philly vibes with Jim Knowles, the podium, Marvin Harrison Jr., the pride of the Philadelphia Catholic League back there getting special work, and it just feels good. I think the Birds are going to win it all this year.
There was a lot of Philly talk. Go Birds.
A lot of Philly talk. Do you think that Ohio State's other pass-throwing robot is mad or jealous? Because, like, CJ spent all this time developing human emotions and trying to learn how to be a real boy. And now Marvin's just back here with this $30,000 toy. And I feel like CJ has done the work. He's put in the effort to become a real human. And here he is, just relegated to some second-rate passing robot.
Some people are going to think you're serious.
Yeah, I'm not serious. But I am serious about this week.
Okay.
And so was Ryan Day. So was Jim Knowles.
Yeah.
What a press conference by Jim Knowles. I don't know where we want to start.
How about the Jim Knowles mystery box? Where's he going to be? Oh, I thought that they had already determined this.
So did I.
And I thought that he had said he was going to be upstairs, and then they decided that they were going to play some sort of elaborate game where we had to guess where Jim Knowles was going to pop up on Saturday.
Does this matter at all?
I just think we get asked about it a lot.
But where was he when he was the defensive coordinator at Oklahoma State?
Well,
I think both.
He's done both. He goes both ways, up and down.
Yowza.
So, I don't know. Does it matter? That's why I was trying to ask more, like, with his experience, both, you know, does he prefer to be down there face to face with the players, or does he like the quiet of the upstairs to think about the chess match? And he didn't even want to answer that because he's trying to protect his location. Maybe.
Yeah. It was funny though.
Maybe he's worried Notre Dame's going to try and take him out.
Maybe that's it. I would have thought he'd want to be on the field just because this is new and it's easier to communicate one-to-one when you're down there. But he's also, I think, more of a back end of the defense guy. And I think you want that bird's eye view. Jeff Hafley was up there. Yeah. They moved Kerry Combs up there last year. Matt Barnes was up there before he started calling the plays. Like, I think that's a natural spot for that guy to be. But I don't know.
Do you think Ryan Day wants him to be upstairs and Jim wants to be downstairs?
Maybe.
Are you suggesting there's internal strife?
No, I don't think it's that.
They were really being weird about it.
You know, but it is just one of those things where I don't know why they're playing that card that way. Who cares? But what you know is that Jim Knowles said the defense is ready. Like, he is 100% ready, confident, and ready to go.
That's not the amount of the playbook, though.
Right, no. Just
still at 75 on that.
Right, but they're 100% of the 75 ready to go.
Yeah.
And they're ready, and what did he say? Attack. That's all they're interested in, is how they can attack Notre Dame, how they attack Tyler Buckner, the first-time starter quarterback. I thought the interesting question was asked, you know, does that matter? And he said it actually isn't a good thing because you don't know what you're going to get out of the quarterback when you haven't seen him play a full game and start like that. So, I mean, I don't think he's truly that worried about Tyler Buckner right now, but it was interesting nonetheless to me.
You seem to really enjoy the Jim Knowles experience.
Yeah, I just like the guy. I like someone who, and, you know, they talked about it. He's from Philadelphia. He talked about how he likes Jack Sawyer to talk
about Philly, don't you?
A little bit.
To talk back to him a little bit and not be afraid to go toe-to-toe with him. And, you know, for a guy that is coming from Oklahoma State into a building like this, into a media environment like this, this beat is larger than pretty much any other beat in the country, to be able to throw some barbs back and forth with media, sort of making fun of people that he doesn't really know, I'm totally on board with that, and I think it shows a lot about him and how comfortable he is. He was asked about Saturday night, and hey, are you gonna take a moment to take it on? And he said no, like, without hesitation, like nope, not gonna do that. No. The players don't need me to do that, so that's my job, is to focus on them. And I just thought the demeanor and the approach from him is so direct, and except for where he's going to be on Saturday during the game. But other than that, everything is just direct and to the point, and I just think it's really refreshing.
Yeah, I'm glad I could really crack the ice open there.
Yeah, I like sometimes when you're in the room in a press conference, someone will ask a question and then the next person will go, oh, that person asked my question. And then Jim Knowles' retort was that, do you want me to answer it the same way again? We've talked a lot about his
Gonna need that audio saved.
Yeah, please.
Forever.
Put it in the Hall of Fame. He has like an uncommon confidence, and we've talked about that before. To be in the mood that he was in today, I thought was a little telling. Like he's a straight shooter for sure, and I think has always appeared comfortable when he's talking with us. But this is the most like laid back, kind of back and forth that he's been, and to be in that mode this week when the game is just a few days away, I thought said something about how he feels, about where this defense is going in the Notre Dame game.
The head coach, meanwhile, was in not messing around mode. Yeah. I used a different word to describe that earlier, but this is safe for all audiences. He switched into that assassin mode. Is that a fair assessment on my part, Berm?
The rosy-cheeked assassin mode? Yeah, I mean, you can tell Ryan's not in a great mood. I mean, he's understands today, Tuesday practice, game week, is one of their more important practices of the week, and so I think they're trying to get themselves ready for that. You could tell he's done some yelling over the last few days. His voice is
a little raspy.
Voice is a touch, under the normal decibel level, but it's a guy that really understands the assignment here. And this season, it sounds hyperbolic to say it, but like this season probably determines Ryan Day's entire legacy at Ohio State. And that starts Saturday, because if they come out against Notre Dame and lay an egg, there is a large percentage of the Ohio State fan base that is not going to come back to his side of things. And we have a fly.
There's a fly that's attacking us.
He is a very aggressive. That's a fly-driven defense out there.
So, but I think that he understands what's in front of him, and he knows how good of a team he has. And there are no excuses. Everything this offseason has gone pretty much perfectly for Ohio State. We're entering season opener against Notre Dame. No one's hurt. There's no issues. So put up or shut up.
I liked he was asked like, how do you control the team like getting a big head, because people are talking about maybe Ohio State is the best team in the country or can be the best team in the country. And then he lowered his voice a couple octaves, sort of leaned into the microphone and said, there are no big heads. This team has something to prove. This team hasn't, like,
he lowered his voice to like your octave.
Yeah. So even lower than I can go. I thought that was interesting too. I think sometimes like we get in there, maybe we read too much into body language and the way that people go about delivering their points. But I think it kind of fell into place with what's been the theme of this offseason. It's like we've heard enough about people questioning, how tough we are, what our competitive level is in a game like this. And I think the head ball coach, like us, is ready to see a game finally happen on Saturday.
Are there different polls that we weren't aware of when we talked about it a couple weeks ago on the Daily, that half of the country thinks Ohio State is number one? I don't remember it being that close.
No, that's certainly not true. I guess like they're being talked about as the 1B, I suppose, to Alabama, but that also kind of makes sense.
They're being expected to be in the national championship game. That makes them one of the two best teams in the country.
All right, I'll accept that. That'll work for an explanation.
Sure.
What else stood out to you today, Bram?
The talk about the defensive line just continues to stay. It's not getting to the point where it's over the top, but it's just like, hey, this defensive line is a lot better. This defensive line looks a lot better. We're very confident in the defensive line. Paris Johnson talking about how much better the defensive line is. Ronnie Hickman talking about how much better the defensive line is. Whatever their problem was a year ago, because this is the same group of dudes. So if they're truly going to step up and be that much better and be the game-wrecking unit that they've been at Ohio State in the last 6-7 years, this changes everything about the expectation for the defense in my mind. And I guess I'm at a point with them where I'm sort of from Missouri, like go out there and show me that this is real. But it's hard not to buy it when the people who have no reason to bring it up and are bringing it up unsolicited are constantly saying the same thing. And maybe they're trying to bump those guys' egos and give them confidence. I don't know. But it's either that or it's true. So,
and beyond that front, Paris Johnson was talking about, having to account for Steel Chambers and Tommy Eichenberg more throughout camp. And he's like, they're so much faster and they're getting different places and they're getting hands off of them. It's like, how is this possible? They're the exact same
guys as last year. Yeah. No, that's what you want to hear, right? You certainly don't want to hear the opposite of that. Like I was asking a little bit about Steel Chambers, but I think the answers to him specifically kind of speak for the entire linebacker room. they weren't very good last year, but I think it was more of a matter of inexperience than anything else. So to hear that these guys got their feet under them, they're harder to play against. I think that's what you want to hear more than anything we've heard it throughout the summer here is it's just not as easy in practice as it used to be for this offense. I'm sure they still put up a lot of fireworks in practice because that's the nature of this offense, but it's good for Ohio State, I think, that it's not coming as easily for that group over the last 4 weeks.
Following Ryan Day's serious approach and Jim Knowles and then bringing Cade Stover out to just be like, I want to match somebody's face in. What a fascinating dynamic for a Media Tuesday ahead of Notre Dame.
America,
there it is.
If you haven't
segment.
If you haven't watched the live stream of Tuesday's press conference on the podcast, go find it and just fast forward about an hour and 5 minutes in and watch Cade Stover's segment. And if you're not ready to run through a brick wall with that kid, not for him, but with him, because he is going to go through it without you one way or another, he's going through it. Like, what an incredible testament to why a kid who hasn't developed on the field the way a lot of people think is a captain at Ohio State in his 4th year in the program. Like, this is a kid that people will follow, and it is really cool to see him just say, he says things differently than most kids his age would say. So, I don't know. It's just pretty awesome to watch Cade up there.
Cade Stover is also a 17.5-point favorite against the brick wall. That would be a fascinating matchup. The other one will be Saturday night in the Horseshoe, Ohio State, Notre Dame. A lot more snap judgments, a lot more of the podcast daily, and some secret coverage may be coming. We don't want to give it all away, just like Jim Knowles. We're not going to tell you until it arrives. You'll just know it when you see it. That's Bill Landis. That's Berm. I'm Austin Ward. Thanks for watching us here on the podcast. Another day closer. We'll see you tomorrow.